Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Just Sing podcast. Today, we're going to be switching gears a little bit, getting back into the entrepreneurship side. This, of course, it's going to apply to real life as a whole, but I specifically wanted to cater it towards entrepreneurship because I personally feel like this is something that needs to be talked about as far as the mindset of an entrepreneur, because everybody, gets in the hustle, we get in the bustle, and we kind of want to be great entrepreneurs and shit. But there's a piece in entrepreneurship that can hinder us, that, whether we know or not, that can really limit us. And that's knowing the difference between reassurance and advice. We live in a world where we seek advice from people, where we think we're seeking advice from people, but we're really just seeking reassurance. And it can fuck us up. It can fuck us up. You can be wanting to do something with your life, wanting to do something better with your circumstance, and talk to the wrong motherfuckers. You feel me? It's one of the wrong motherfuckers. This is something that I learned in the beginning phases of everything, grinding and, talking to people and shit. And I had to realize that I wasn't talking to the right people, and talking to the wrong people kept me hindered a lot. It kept me hindered a lot. It wasn't until I switched the gear and said I need to start talking to the right people that I realized that there was a huge difference in what it was that I was seeking from talking to certain people. And that thing was the difference between reassurance and advice. We typically go to people that we trust, people that we value, people that we hold in high regard. And we, hey, let me get some advice from you. Whatever the case may be. Quick shameless plug. This is one of the reasons why I started chatting with Scene, the chatting with Scene sessions, because I wanted to provide people with advice, not reassurance. Reassurance is trash. Reassurance is bullshit. Reassurance will get you fucked up in the game. You feel me? Because there's no real guidance, And then shameless plug again. My platform on masculinity is, analysis and deconstruction. Masculinity is a spiritual, mental, and physical embodiment of analysis and deconstruction. You can find out more about that in the So Frail books, So Frail series. But it's like I realized that guidance is more of a masculine thing than it is about analyzing and deconstructing a situation. So it kind of showed me that there's a difference between reassurance, which is more so feminine because it's about synthesis and construction, than it is than advice being analysis and deconstruction. So in learning that, I started to view the world differently, especially entrepreneurship. And so it made me prepare myself better to be equipped with the right people. And put myself in positions to speak with the right people, to get the right things, the right messages, the right guidance, to be better. You feel me? Reassurance doesn't make us better. It makes us comfortable. You feel me? Advice makes us better, And then I'll always wonder why, I give advice to a motherfucker, in air quotes, and they wouldn't take the advice, And I realized, yo, why the fuck you coming to talk to me if you ain't gonna do what the fuck I said do? You feel me? Then I started to realize as a whole, people don't want advice. They want reassurance. And off the other side of that, people don't know how to give advice. They only know how to give it reassurance. You feel what I'm saying? So much so that, I'm going to stick to the theme of entrepreneurship, but, even down to, like trying to console motherfuckers. It's like one of the worst bits of quote unquote advice that motherfuckers give is like, say if somebody dies, they're like, yo, the Lord makes no mistakes. What kind of bullshit is that? You don't tell a motherfucker that shit while they grieving. That makes them believe and feel that what happened to that person or what happened to the loss or whatever the case may be is it was supposed to happen, and it wasn't. That shit was on purpose, and it's not. It's not. And it really put me in perspective to look at life differently. Not only life, look at my entrepreneurship journey differently, and, kind of want to give the game a little bit to the people who are tapped into that and trying to become entrepreneurs, but you might find yourself at a wall. You might find yourself stuck, and you're going to people that you trust rather than people that can get you through the shit, because we're seeking reassurance rather than seeking advice. You feel me? And it's a crazy game, and it's a easy game to get caught up in, and it can hinder you in a lot of ways. Trying to be reassured by somebody or reassured by something, and you just kind of get stuck because you start to internalize that. Once you internalize something, that's it. The game's done. You don't know how. You're not going to be able to truly uncover and move towards the life and move into the light that you're supposed to move into. So Today, like I said, that's what I want to talk about today. The difference between reassurance and advice, because it's definitely needed. It's definitely needed, especially on your entrepreneurship journey. So before we get started, be sure to check out my website, iamjustseen.com, to get all things that are just seen. To all who tip, donate, and sponsor to the podcast, you are greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. To all who would like to tip, donate, and sponsor to the podcast, you can do so by clicking the description of your podcast, not the episode, but the podcast itself. Cash App and PayPal are fine. Yeah, and all of that is in the description of your podcast. So that's that for this, and that's this for that. And when we come back, we are going to dive into, hopefully my numbers are right, EntrepreNEGUS 11, reassurance versus advice. Oh yeah, and don't forget to visit iamjustseen.com. There you can get all things Just Seen. You want to add the Soul series to your library? Visit iamjustseen.com. You want to learn how to master the market for serious trading and investing? Visit iamjustseen.com. You want to get your hands on some exclusive merch like tees, hoodies, coffee mugs, hats, bags? Visit iamjustseen.com. Are you thinking about transitioning into the plant-based lifestyle? Visit iamjustseen.com. You ever want to just chat with Seen about anything from simple advice to mentorship? Visit iamjustseen.com. Anything and everything that is me, you can find at iamjustseen.com. So just take a quick peek into my world and see why being just seen is nothing less but always more. Because you never really know what you need until you see it. You will never see it unless you visit iamjustseen.com. All right. Welcome back. And without further ado, let's get it started. Let's get it popping. Let's get it cracking. Let's get it. Reassurance versus advice. Reassurance is something that we often seek. We seek that shit heavily with motherfuckers. Like, we don't even know that that's what we're doing, really, because we, like I said, words, semantics are fucking crazy. You feel me? We go to somebody, hey, can you give me some advice on something? They be like, yeah. And then you tell them the whole story of what you need. And you thinking, okay, bam, they gonna give me some advice. And nah, they give you reassurance, or they give you reassurance to go the other way. You feel me? It's like, I don't think you should do that, or I think you should do this. It's like, what grounds qualifies that motherfucker to give you advice? You feel me? That's the first question you got to ask before you go seek advice on anything. What grounds does this motherfucker have to give me advice? You feel what I'm saying? This is no slight to my elders. This is no slight to none of the people that, I instill my trust in. But they're not living the life that I live. But when I first started my entrepreneurship journey, I kept trying to get advice from them. You feel me? It's like, you ain't got the answer, Sway. But yeah, motherfuckers who are reassuring you don't have they don't have the answers. So you come to them like, yo, here's the thing that I want to do, blah blah blah, and they be like, well, what do you think you should do? Or if I were what they do when you reassuring somebody, you tell them what you would do in their position, which is very dangerous because you're not in their position, or they're not in your position. You feel me? You got to go to people who are in that space. You feel me? The biggest realization hit me when I was first getting into trading and investing. I was talking to somebody, and I was like, yo, I think I want to do investing. I think I want to do trading and shit like that. I was like, well, so what you think? It's like, well, you better be careful because it's like gambling, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, in the beginning, I'm like, yo, you might be right. Because, I value their opinion. You feel me? I didn't trust the facts. You feel me? But I valued their opinion. So I sought reassurance in them under the guise that I was seeking advice. And it wasn't until I learned how to trade, learned how to invest, learned how to get money in the stock markets, learned how to get money in Forex, crypto, ETFs, whatever. You feel me? I was like, this shit ain't gambling. This shit is an art. This shit is science. My nigga, this shit works. Like, you feel me? It's not a gambling thing. Like, once you know the setups and you learn how to read a fucking market, you realize, yo, this shit is just about timing, patience, and, understanding, really. You feel me? And anybody can do it. But I was asking a person who wasn't doing the shit. You feel me? And a lot of times, especially us in our community, because a lot of us are first-time entrepreneurs, a lot of us are first time people that are doing something, you feel me, that it 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 makes us want to go to our only sources. Typically our parents, typically our older siblings, typically our cousins, typically, friends, that we value their opinions, right? And again, this is no shot towards my peoples whatsoever, but they weren't doing what I was doing. You know, my first real bag was my books. Nobody around me had published a book before. Nobody had even written the book. Nobody knew the proper steps. So it was like talking to him was like, yo, I think I should do this. I want to do this. And you know what I mean? So it's like, I stopped asking people for advice. Some of my homies will be like, yo, you need help. If you need help, you got to ask for it. And what that issue was about for me internally, my internal conflict with it was that I was never asking you for advice. I was, and it's like, you think I'm not asking for help, but I'm not asking you for help because you can't help me. You can only give me reassurance. I don't need reassurance on this phase of my life. I don't need reassurance in this path of my journey. In entrepreneurship, you don't need reassurance. Reassurance is how MLMs profit. My first entrepreneur venture was an MLM. You feel me? And if you've been in the MLM, if you are on your entrepreneurship journey and you about getting this money and shit, at some point you're gonna cross over into an MLM, especially in the beginning phases. You are going to fuck with an MLM. And when you get in these motherfuckers, all they do is reassure you. They don't do shit else but reassure you. The reassurance is good. You feel me? It's like, yeah, we need to have these things. It's motivation. It keeps the mindset right. No, it's just reassurance. It doesn't help me get to the next level. It doesn't help me individualize myself. It doesn't help me sell me. You feel me? So I never forget it. My big homie Will. Shout out to the broski. He was one of the first people. No, not one of. He was the first person to really shift my mind into entrepreneurship, to be an entrepreneur versus being a wantrepreneur. Entrepreneurs, they just seek reassurance like a motherfucker. It sound good. Yeah, I want to be an entrepreneur. Then you just go to motherfuckers to reassure you about it. And then you you go through a process of getting a lot of theory, but you don't get much action. And because you don't get much action, you're not experiencing and involving yourself with action-oriented motherfuckers. And because you're not involving yourself with action-oriented motherfuckers, you don't know how to do this shit. You just know how to have the mindset for it. If you even have that. So with the MLMs being my first little journey and shit, every time we would go to the meetings and shit, we was in these meetings all the fucking time, nigga. It's like, nigga, I'm still not getting money. Y'all haven't shown me how to get money yet. Y'all just keep telling me that I can do this. It's possible. It's like, it's fucking, I ain't gonna say millions, but the shits be deep. We be in these meetings, it'd be about 100 people in this bitch. And you can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Everybody can do it. You just got to listen to this. You got to listen to this podcast. Listen to this episode. Listen to this. And all it's doing is reassuring you that you can do something. But it ain't giving you the advice that you need to push through that fucking wall. So my big homie Will, you feel me? It was when I first started not selling cars. I was parking cars at this time. This was when I started with valet. So I tried to recruit this motherfucker into the MLM. And I'm so glad he had already been in one because he fucking was like, so I was like, yo, bro, I got a business that you really want to get into because it's like I needed to start making money. I needed people under my leg and shit, right? So I was like, yo. So he broke it down. He said, it's an MLM, ain't it? I said, no, it's not an MLM. They said MLM is so last year, so passe. We don't do MLM. This is VLM. This is vertical level marketing. Now, the thing about it, and this didn't come to my light until I understood the shit. These things are called multi-level marketing. These aren't business moves. This is marketing. You feel me? Marketing is your ability to make somebody believe. That's all marketing is. I want people to understand that, like right now. Like marketing is the ability to make somebody believe something. That's it. So we be thinking that these MLMs are businesses and they're not. They're marketing schemes. They're marketing strategies with no strategy. But anyway, it's about marketing. Marketing is your ability to make somebody believe, right? Advertising, and I got an episode on that, EntrepreNEGUS. I don't remember what number, but I got one on marketing and I got one on advertising. But Marketing is your ability to make somebody believe, right? Advertising is promoting that belief to the people. You feel me? That's all advertising is. Promoting that belief to that people, embedding into their unconscious mind and making them act. You feel what I'm saying? So he's telling me, he's like, yo, it's an MLM. Man. I was like, nah, bro, this is a VLM. It's a vertical level marketing. It is different. Business was never in that title. So he's breaking it down. He said, bro, he said, you're too big for that. He said, if you want to do entrepreneurship, you might as well do it yourself. He said, because think about what you're doing. You're selling products for somebody else. You're a spokesperson. It is my task to make people believe in somebody else's product. That's what, the MLMs are about. Making somebody believe in somebody else's product, whether you believe in the shit or not. You feel me? It just so happened that the products that we were selling, I fucked with because I knew science. I knew the science behind them. They were selling like herbal supplements and shit. A different type of multivitamin. It was liquid. It wasn't pill. And it was like, it went straight to your bloodstream, blah, blah, blah. It was sweet. So it bonded. Like, I knew so much about the shit that it made sense. I was like, cool, this is an easy bag. But it wasn't easy bag because it's about marketing. I have to make people believe in this shit. And I'm the type of motherfucker, I don't like convincing people for shit. That's where my struggle is. I don't like convincing you. I don't like spending time trying to convince somebody of something. And that's what those things were about. You feel me? Trying to change the belief of a motherfucker. It's like, yo, you can fuck with this. You feel me? I got to put myself in your shoes and blah, 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 blah. So my thing was, I'm not trying to make motherfuckers believe me. Shit, because I'm the only one to get the job done. I don't know a motherfucker that can cover for me. You feel me? But it was in that when talking to him, that was the first time as far as entrepreneurship that I got advice. And in the MLM, I got reassurance. I would talk to the people and shit, because I had put some money into that bitch, bro. I was on my last. I was like, nigga, it's like, because I bought into the belief. I was reassured that, yeah, it's going to take some time. It's a process. You can do this. You just got to stay at it. That's all they kept doing was reassuring me. And that's all they keep doing in MLMs is reassuring you to stay in the fucking MLM because the people above you are still getting paid because you're attached to it. You feel me? I was like, man, nah, it's got to be a better way. Wasn't paying me enough. I needed something quicker. Woo. So I was, I was utilizing that. And, in that I was talking to people, I talked to my mom. She had tried the MLM when I was young. I didn't even know shit about this, but she was like, yeah, I was in one of those things. It's not worth it. It ain't going to work. It's a scam. It's blah, blah, blah. And that was her experience. People, when people are giving you what you think is advice, but it's really reassurance, they only can tell you their experience with something. They can't give you the objective perspective of it. That's advice. Advice is the objective perspective of something, but you have to experience it to have the objective perspective. You feel what I'm saying? So when you go into a motherfucker asking for advice, what are you trying to get? So now you had to program your mind to go ask the right motherfuckers. You feel me? I was asking people that were not in my space about shit. Yeah, I want to start a business, man. I want to do this. I want to do this. There's no reason why you should, be asking people that aren't into real estate about real estate. You're just trying to reassure yourself. Yo, I think I want to get into real estate. You feel me? If they fuck with you and they fuck with your mindset, they'll reassure you in a positive way. They'll say, yeah, that's something I think you can do. Because, they'll tell you the simple shit. Yeah, you smart. You feel me? I can see you doing it. You feel me? That's reassurance. You just want to feel good that you can do it. And you wonder why you still struggle when you try to get into that shit because the reassurance don't give you nothing. You're like, there's still something. So you don't know what you don't know. There's a lot of different positions in the mind, but there's 4 things of, I'm gonna call revelation that you have. You have known knowns, you have known unknowns, you have unknown knowns, and you have unknown unknowns. You feel me? Advice is supposed to get you to the unknown position. Because you don't know what you don't know, but you need to go to a motherfucker who knows it. You feel me? Not a motherfucker who thinks they know it. And you just trust their judgment and you trust the way they present things and make them feel. Like I talk about this frequently, how motherfuckers say shit like, yo, what you said resonated with me. Tell me how it resonated. Like you have to know what the fuck I'm talking about for the shit to resonate. Otherwise, you just like my presentation. I reassured you that this is all right. I didn't give you no advice. I didn't give you any advice, grammar police. But I ain't give you no advice. I ain't break this shit down for you to see that this is something tangible that you can do. You feel me? And that's how the MLMs work. You feel me? I'm a forex trader. I'm a stock trader. I'm an invest. Like investing and trading is the same shit, bro. Like let me go ahead and put that out there. People think the shit is two totally different bags. No, it's the same shit. If you know how to trade, you know how to invest. If you know how to invest, you know how to trade. The only difference is trading, like day trading and shit, is short-term investing. Investing is long-term trading. You need to know the skills to do both to read the markets. Quick shameless plug, another one. Mastering the market. Comprehensive guide to forex and comprehensive guide to forex trading and investing. I teach it, but this is now segueing into what I'm talking about, because when I would like get to the people, their belief had already been fucked up in forex. They're like, yo, how much do I got to pay a month? Huh? A month? I mean, I got payment options if you can't afford it up front, and but it's only for 3 months. Like, that's what you're saying. You feel me? They're like, nah, don't I got to pay something a month, and then I got to put this? How much money do I have to put? Well, the brokerage, it just depends on the broker and shit. I said, I use forex.com, and the minimum entry is $100. Some require you to have a minimum of 10,000, some require bigger things. They was like, nah, you're not getting what I'm saying. I said, I'm not getting what you're saying, because I don't get why you're saying what you're saying. You don't have to pay me shit a month. Like, I don't get it. Then I started to learn on the backside of it. Oh, there's forex MLMs. You just in this motherfucker. People are being recruited to believe that forex works. I'm not trying to, that's my thing. I don't have to convince you that forex works, bitch. I know it works. I do it. You feel me? But again, it goes into marketing. Marketing is a form of reassurance and shit, making you believe that this is all good. I don't give forex advice. I don't give stock advice. I don't give forex reassurance. I don't give stock reassurance. I give advice. I know how this shit works. I know how this whole system breaks down to the core principles, and that's what I teach. You feel what I'm saying? So it was always confusing me. It's like now I can give advice, because now I have people that have finished my course. Some people haven't taken my course yet, but a lot of people will come to me, yo, what do you think about this stock? I can give them advice. Don't get into it yet, but it's cheap. This is one of my biggest sell points, in a sense. It's one of my biggest marketing ploys. You feel me? Because marketing is about what? Making somebody believe in what you're doing. But it's like, I tell them, a cheap price is not a low price. You feel me? A cheap price is not a low price, but it requires you to understand how to read a market. Markets happen in waves. They happen not only in waves, they happen in pockets. You feel me? You have a selling pocket. You have a buying pocket. You should not do any buying if they are in a selling pocket. You feel me? Until the selling pocket expires itself and is done, and the buyers have returned. Then it becomes buyer's market, and then you follow with the buyers. But a lot of people don't do that. They do the opposite of it. You feel me? They sell with they sell with the sellers. Then they buy with the buyers. You got to have somebody to sell to. You have to have somebody to buy from. So you need a pocket to understand all of that shit. But I digress. So in that, people will come to me and be like, yo, what do you think about this stock? And I'll be like, it's too high to get in right now. But bro, it's only $1.50. I know, nigga. What was the low? 42 cents. Let that bitch come down a little bit, closer to 42 as possible. You feel me? It's like, yo, how did you know how to do that? I know how to read the market. I'm not going to reassure you that investing is a good thing. I'll give you advice on how investing is a good thing, or why forex and the stock markets are a good thing, because the advice is the guidance through the experience. I do this shit. You feel me? But as an entrepreneur, in our beginning phases, what we do is we seek reassurance from motherfuckers that we want them to make us feel good about our decision. We don't want to take advice on the actual system we're involving ourselves in. You feel me? So we play a lot of safe bets. You feel me? I want to start a business, but I don't know what I want to do. All right, well, don't ask me for shit, because I'm an advisor. I'm not a reassurer. I don't give a fuck about making you feel good about what you say you want to do. This shit ain't gonna feel good. The advice is what you have to get through. You need to be seeking advice from people who have bumped their heads with the shit. I can give you advice because I bumped my head, and I can know where you're about to bump your head with. One of my students and one of my young homies and shit, you feel me? He would hit me up and be like, yo, bro, I had a good ass trade and shit, and it went in my favor, but then it turned around. He said, what happened? I ain't had to see a chart. I ain't had to see shit. I was like, you bought, didn't you? He was like, yeah. He said, it bounced up for a little bit, then it completely went against me. I said, go up one time frame. Go up just one time frame and tell me, are you in a selling pocket or not? He said, bro, I was in a selling pocket. I said, I know sellers had control. Yeah, you bought, but you just gave your money to somebody who was selling because the sellers are in control. That's the market control. You feel me? Yeah, market direction and market control. You feel me? You got caught in the market direction and got obliterated by the market control. You feel me? That's why you always got to have a stop loss. You always got to know what's going on. You got to be able to put these things in pockets and understand when it's just dying. When the person who has control regains control again. You feel me? Buy low, sell high. You know? So when it comes to that perspective, he came to me because he needed advice. And I advised him. I didn't reassure him that, oh, bro, you got to stick it out. Because that's what I see a lot of motherfuckers do in this space. It's too much money being moved and it's too much involved for you to just be reassuring motherfuckers. But they reassure, oh, you just misread the charts. It's okay. You had to wait a little longer. You feel me? With time, you'll get it. Like, no, don't give me with time. Show me what I need to do now. What I need to do now. You feel me? That's advice. You feel what I'm saying? I got people like, yo, I want to build my portfolio. How do I do it? It's like, yo, I'm not the one to ask because I invest like a trader, bro. I know how to get in and know how to get out. I'm not in these motherfuckers for the long term. I don't give a fuck about a dividend. To be honest, I don't give a fuck about dividends. They're good. They're profitable. They work over time, but you got to have significant amount of money in them to even scratch the surface where the dividend works. And they're like, yo, it's going to build over time. It's a process, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it is a process. Now speed the process up. If you invest like a trader, bro, when to get in, when to get out, when to get on to the next stock. Then when you build your capital enough to where you can start investing in the dividend stocks, and you ain't putting $50, $20 in the shit, bitch, you putting 10, 15,000 in there. But you got to get up to that 10, 15,000. You feel me? But it's the advice that you have to be given, not reassurance. And it is in that why a lot of entrepreneurs fail. People think entrepreneurship is not for everybody. It is for everybody. It's for anybody, to be honest with you. Anybody can get the smoke of entrepreneurship. The problem is you're not seeking advice from people. You're seeking reassurance. I always tell people are like, yo, it's lonely at the top. I used to say that. I used to feel that way till I had to give my own affirmation to the shit. It's lonely at the top when you scared to befriend your equals. When you scared to fuck with people that are doing what you're doing, yeah, it's going to be lonely at the top because you're used to being around motherfuckers to reassure you. Yes, people. You feel what I'm saying? Motherfuckers know, you know what I'm saying? Like when I started my journey, it was people know, I'm intelligent. They know about me. So when I tell them something that's tied to that shit, they can say, I can see you doing that. They reassure me. And I'm like, yeah, I could do that shit. Thinking, yo, I want some advice. I'm going to them like, I want some advice. And all they're doing is reassuring me. So then my ass get into the shit and I don't know shit about shit. And I'm fucking up. And now I'm, yo, what is this? And then now I had to realize that I had to go to receive advice. Bringing it all back to my homeboy, Will. You feel me? He advised me on how to get into entrepreneurship. He was like, bro, he would provide me with reading material. He would provide me with different things. He taught me about drop shipping. He taught me about so much shit. He was like, yo, bro, you need to do this. And he told me something very proud. He said, bro, he wasn't calling me broke, but considering that we were working at the same job or whatever the case may be, he was my supervisor at the time. But he was like, bro, you got too many skills to be. He said, you got too many skills to be broke. He said, you just got to tap into them and go into the spaces and where you're supposed to be. You feel me? He was like, stop trying to go to people that ain't doing what you're doing. He said, they're not going to get you shit. He said, I'm not even doing what you're doing, but I do entrepreneurship so I can put you in the right spaces. You feel me? I've already done MLMs and I know they don't work. So I'm going to give you the advice on what an MLM really is. I'm not going to tell you, hey, yeah, you could try this shit. It's going to work. How do you know it's going to work? You're trying to reassure me. Send me to the meeting. And I'm in a meeting for fucking an hour and a half of my day and I don't get shit. I just feel good when I leave. Yeah, it's going to be a good week and shit. Then I go back to reality. I need advice, bro. I need advice. Advice is giving me the plan and the guidance to actually do the shit that I say I want to do. And that is one of the hindering pieces of entrepreneurship. People don't know the difference between those two and they're only seeking one. Advice is hard because when I tell you what you have to do, you have to make a decision. Do I do the shit or not? You feel me? I know people that come to me now, you feel me? Because I got what, 3 books out, 3 self-published books out. Then of course I got the Master the Market ebook bundles. But the books that I publish are like, how do I publish a book? All right, cool. This is what you need to do. Like, I'm not like, I want to publish a book. Okay, cool. I'm not going to say, oh yeah, I think you should go for it. What's your topic? How do you want to write it? Like, what you going to talk about? No, this is what you need to fucking do. It's non-negotiable. I'm not going to put you in a position where I'm going to reassure you to write a book. I'm going to give you the steps on what you need to do to write the book. It's up to you to do the shit. You dig what I'm saying? And that's the people, that's what people are missing. That's the piece that people are missing. They be on some shit like, damn, I got to do all of this. Yeah, you got to research what you want to do. Do you want a paperback? Do you want a hardcover? Do you want, like, what things do you want? The advice is never good. It doesn't make you feel good. It makes you realize how much you got to fucking do, because advice is guidance. It is to put you in a position where you can do better. Reassurance just put you in a position where you can feel better. Feeling better don't make the money, bruh. Doing better does. Bruh, sis, all y'all. You feel me? It's doing better that makes you money. Not just wanting to be an entrepreneur and feeling good about it and talk to motherfuckers that ain't doing business. And that's one of the things too. We reassure ourselves by being I got an episode on this too. EntrepreNEGUS, I think it's the big fish in a small pond, or the big fish complex or something like that. Check that out. We put ourselves in a position where we become the big fish in a small pond. We like that shit. We like being a big fish in a small pond, so we can always be reassured by the smaller fish. Yeah, you're doing right. No, all you're doing is by metaphor, what you're doing is when you're seeking reassurance from the smaller fish is just like, remind me that I'm the big fish. Remind me that I'm the big fish. Because when you switch sides of that and you become the small fish in the ocean, you were once a big fish in a pond, but now you're the small fish in the ocean. Oh, now you need advice. How the fuck do I maneuver through this ocean? I don't want to maneuver through the ocean. I just want to act like I can swim in the ocean. That's where y'all be fucking up on your entrepreneurship journey. And this ain't no belittling shit. I don't want you to feel like I'm trying to belittle you or no shit like that, but I gotta give you the game. I gotta give you the real game. Like, I can't speak to you with the hopes of the fact that you got the idea shows that you can do it. You feel me? For me, it's about giving you the advice. I got to give you the advice to get to that next level, to get to that next phase, no matter what it is. Whether, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the sessions that I have as far as chatting with seeing is like people like, yo, tell me about entrepreneurship. How do I do this? All right, what's your bag? What bag do you want? Well, I want it. All right, cool. Here's the advice on how to do this shit. I'm an advisor, bro. I'm an advisor. I'm not a reassurer. I can't just put you in a position to make you feel good and send you back and you still have no, nothing to do with what you have. You dig what I'm saying? I discouraged a woman one time. I didn't intentionally discourage her, but she was like, she wanted to start a skincare line or whatever the case may be. She wanted to sell skincare products and shit. And that was something that the conscious community does a lot of. Everybody sells shea butter and shit. You know what I mean? Like, ain't nothing wrong with it. Sell that shit. Market that shit. Get your bag. But at the same time, when you tell me like, yo, I want to do my own skincare line. All right, cool. Do you know biology? Do you know chemistry? I don't have to know those things. All right, nigga. All right, my guy. You think you don't, but I'm not going to reassure you to know, oh, yeah, you can do it. That's a good idea. That's not a good idea. It's an oversaturated market. Now I got to give you advice on how to actually do it. Now, there's going to be things that you're going to have to know to separate you from everybody else. Why is everybody using shea butter? Because it's good for the skin. Why? Tell me why. Does it promote elasticity? Does it have collagen in it? What is the shit that I didn't know I needed? Yes, you do need to know that. That's what the advice is about. What the fuck are you going to do if, I'm going to put these essential oils in? What do you do when you sell it to a motherfucker who's allergic? They're allergic to that essential oil. You feel me? You got motherfuckers with peanut allergies. You got motherfuckers with nut allergies, and you're selling them shit that got almond oil in it. Well, almond oil is good for the skin, not for a motherfucker who's allergic to nuts. The fuck? What do you think is going to happen to them? They shit going to break out, and you lost the client because you didn't know how to cater to them. You feel me? I'm not saying you gotta, you know what I'm saying, she had to know the full science about it, but it discouraged her. You feel me? She was like, you just don't want, I want you to win. I want you to win, but I also want you to succeed. Fuck a sale. A sale don't mean shit. You gotta keep selling shit. I'm not gonna reassure you to sell one thing. I'm gonna give you advice to keep your sales coming. You feel me? Advice is never good because it sheds light to what the fuck you don't know. It sheds light to where you fall short. Reassurance makes you think you got this shit under wraps because you're talking to motherfuckers who don't know what the fuck they doing. Now I ain't gonna say what they doing. You talking to motherfuckers who don't know what you doing. I told motherfuckers, like, when I first, like I said, when I was first getting into Forex and shit, it was like, it was a reassuring thing at first. Yeah, Forex, you can make a lot of money. Advice, reassurance is that in Forex, you can make a lot of money. In stocks, you can make a lot of money, right? Advice is you can lose a lot of money if you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Like I said, this shit happens in pockets. One of the biggest things, especially amongst our people, is because we have a lack mentality, low key. So this is why we invest in penny stocks. This is why we invest in cheap stocks and shit, because we're willing to lose a little bit of money. You know, it's like, oh, well, it just wasn't for me because no, it was for you. You just didn't go through the steps to learn how to really do the shit. You feel me? Doge right now. Doge is at the time of this recording, Doge is at 40 cents. It came off of a 10 cent low. Motherfuckers like, yo, Doge, man, it's moving. It's already moved. This is advice. Reassurance is Doge is moving. You better get in. Don't ever listen to that shit like that. By the time you hear about an opportunity, it's too late, especially in the space of making money in the markets. When the world is talking about it, oh, bitch, it's too late. You got to wait until it's whispers. There ain't nobody talking about it. You feel me? But right now, Doge is at like 40 cents, coming off of a low of 10 cents. Motherfuckers asking me, is this a good buy? Fuck no, but it's only 40 cents. I don't give a fuck. That is high. That is high. Because imagine now you got to think about the full dynamic of the market. You have to buy from somebody who's selling. The people who are selling it now, where you're trying to buy it, they bought it at 5 cents, 6 cents, 7 cents. I'm not trying to discourage you or be a hater or keep you out of the game. I want you in the game. Feel me? I want you in the game. But I want you to make the right decision too. Feel me? You buying at 40 cents, then you see that shit creep down, 39. See it creep down a little bit, 33. Oh, it's going to go back up. No, bitch, they're selling now. It's not going to go back up until it goes down. The sellers have to have their turn because they got to make their money. And you're buying high, which in turn is going to fuck you up because now when the shit drops, it's going to fuck you up because when the shit drops, you're going to be like, damn, let me hold in it. And then it's like you're going to lose hope because it's like, all right, fuck it. This shit just going to keep going down. The next thing you know, you sell, you come back a week or two later and you're like, this shit went back up. I could have, if I would have just stayed in. You didn't just stay in because you didn't know that you were supposed to stay in. You didn't know why you were supposed to stay in. You feel me? And you didn't know these things because you didn't even know when to get in. You just got in because the shit was green. You feel me? It's all psychology. I teach this part in like the first week of the Master in the Market course on how to structure your mind to not be caught up into your emotions. They purposely make the candles green and red for a reason. Selling is red for a reason. Buying is green for a reason because you're already programmed to see green and red in the way that you see them. Green means go. Red means stop. As soon as you see red, you get out. Your first sign of seeing red, you get out of the game instead of getting into it. First sign of seeing green, you get into the game instead of getting out of the shit. That's why there's a 95% success rate in that. And what I mean by that, 95% of motherfuckers lose, 5% are winning. This is not greed. This is not, the powers that be and keeping wealth out of people. No, they're not keeping the wealth from the people. They're keeping the information from the people because the people don't know. You feel me? But I tie that in because, when you're seeking reassurance, motherfuckers tell you just to jump in because it's low, because it's cheap, but it's not low. And now all of the motherfuckers, they're loading up the orders. They, let me go ahead and get my bid. I got my profits. I'm out. You feel me? But when it comes to the collective of entrepreneurship, There's so many vices in that because, like I said, so many people are looking for reassurance. So again, you go to Twitter, you go to what they call it, LLC Twitter and shit. Motherfuckers be like, get you an LLC, do this, that, and the third, and then people make jokes about the shit, but they can't give you advice. They can only give you reassurance. You feel what I'm saying? They can only give you reassurance. I'm gonna make you feel good. I'm gonna make you feel good about this decision. Then when it goes against you, it's like, yo, tell me why this didn't work. I don't know, bro. You just did something wrong. Blah blah blah. Like, you feel me? It's one of the reasons why I don't give stock advice. Now, what I do as far as like my master in the market information, I'd be like, look, here's something you can add to your watch list. When you get in, I'm not gonna tell you that shit. You feel me? I had one person on my page and shit. I got into one of the stocks that they got out of. And he was like, damn, man, I just thought it was gonna keep falling. I knew it wasn't gonna keep falling. But how'd you know? I can read a market. I told you it all happens in pockets. I don't be bullshitting with this shit. I know how to do this shit. I know how to do it well. You feel me? I know how to do it well. But it's like my goal, like I said, I'm not trying to convince you or reassure you. You feel me? I want you to know how to do this shit. So I got to give you advice. It's ugly. Advice is ugly. You feel me? Don't nobody really want advice. Don't nobody really want advice because it requires you to change. It really requires you to change. It requires you to become something different, something better. You feel me? Reassurance makes you feel like, I'm good enough right now. You're not. I'm going to say that right now. When it comes to entrepreneurship, as you are right now, is not good enough. You have to get better. You feel me? Being a hustler, if you was at one point in your life a hustler and shit like that, oh, I could hustle, I can make some money. Can you keep it? Can you multiply it? You feel me? We use that as a means to get into the game of entrepreneurship. I know that's what it was for me. I grew up around drug dealers. I grew up around trappers, like motherfuckers that was always getting money. So I learned to hustle. But I started to pay attention to the principles too. And I started getting advice and learn how to apply that advice in other areas of life. You feel what I'm saying? Nobody's trying to give you that, because now you got to pay for my advice, because my advice comes with my experience. Therefore, my experience is going to be dictated by my time. All right. Look. The markets are not a difficult place to understand. All right. You just have to know what you're looking at. And there's 5 things that you need to see before you can make any market entry. First, you need a pocket, so you can know which direction the market is going. Second, you need a pullback, so you can get the better price. Third, you need a battlefield, so you can see when that market movement is slowing down. Fourth, you need the upper hand, so you can see when the market reactivates. And last, you need a final push, so you can see the exact moment when it's time to go with the direction you are already moving in. Okay? Of course, there's so much more that has to go into that, and it's not as cut and dry as that. But those are things that I teach in my Mastering the Market course. So if you would like to learn more, please visit IamJustSing.com and check out the Mastering the Market course today. Although it is directed and specialized for Forex, all of the skills, I crafted them to be transferable to any market that you're looking at. So again, visit IamJustSing.com and check out the Mastering the Market course today if you are truly looking to master the market. You feel me? This is just me personally. When people can lower their prices, they better reassure you about some shit. You feel me? When people can, you know what I'm saying? It's like me, I'm not willing to budge on my prices because I'm not reassuring you some shit. I'm giving you advice. I'm really going to show you how to do this shit. You feel me? But our programming is to be reassured. You feel me? And it starts with our parents. And this is where it's a slippery slope. Now, I don't have kids. You feel me? But I got nieces and nephews and shit. And I was a kid at one point in time. And I've learned that parents don't want to admit to the kids that they don't know. Right? So as kids growing up, we think the elders, we think the older people, we think they know everything, literally. We think they know everything because they know what we don't know sometimes. And what we don't know is what we feel is everything. So we're likely to go to them to seek reassurance. We will reassure ourselves by asking them questions. They will never admit that they don't know something. They will talk in circles, give you a whole bunch of information, ask you, does that make sense? And you have been reassured about the shit. On your entrepreneurship journey, you need advisors or mentors. You need people that, like, this is why they say get a mentor. You don't need somebody who's just going to reassure you. You need somebody who can give you advice. Therefore, you need somebody in your space that is doing what you're doing. You feel what I'm saying? Somebody who is in your space doing what you're doing, because if they're not in your space doing what you're doing, then how the fuck can they advise you on some shit? You feel me? When I was in undergrad, I started to peep game about what an advisor was, because it's like when you first get there, you have a basic advisor. You feel me? My advisor was a freshman seminar, teacher, and he was my freshman seminar teacher. When I declared my major, my advisor changed. My advisor became the motherfucker who was running the department that I was now being, that I had now declared a major of. My advisor became somebody who was in forensic science. He was familiar with both chemistry and biology. You feel what I'm saying? So it wasn't, so for me to advise about forensic biology, what do? He gave me the right courses to take, because you're going down a biology route. That is the basic point of what an advisor is. They give you advice. They tell you which way to go. He didn't need to reassure me. I think you should major in forensic science because you have an analytical mind. No. I'm majoring in forensic science. Now give me advice. Give me advice. Not reassurance. We have been programmed to receive reassurance. Anybody who can't reassure us, nigga, you just hating. No, bitch, I'm telling you, you can't do this shit because I know you. I'm not hating on you. I don't give I would want you to do what you want to do, but nah, I know you ain't got the discipline for the shit that you want to do. You feel me? You don't have the patience for the shit that you want to do. You don't have the willpower to drive. It's not hating on you, bitch. It's telling me who you are. Like, that's another side of it. We only seek, we fuck with yes people in the reassurance vein. We fuck with yes people because we want people to tell us the truth or what we think is the truth. No, we want people to make us feel good, because then you got the people who know you. This is why one of the biggest issues, like with the familial structure, is that when you come to your family and they know you the best. You feel me? Or what you might perceive as the best, and your close friends. You feel me? And then I always hear this. People be like, yeah, man, my family don't support me. My friends don't support me. They're not supposed to. They're not your target audience, for one. And for two, they know you. What is the reason why they won't support you? Have you proven to them that you can do what you say you're going to do? I've been in my entrepreneurship. I've been writing books. I've been doing all of this shit for the last 6 years. Since 2016. My first book came out in 2016. That's when I really started doing my thing, right? One of my cousins just bought my book like a month ago. My first book. You feel me? And it wasn't on the strength that, he was a hater or no shit like that. He didn't know I was writing books. His perspective of me, you in med school, you trying to go to school and do these things. I didn't know books would come out of you, especially books about this topic, masculinity and shit. I didn't know. All I knew is what you've always shown me. They're not hating on you for that. You feel me? That's why they get to the bandwagon late, because they don't know shit about shit. They only know you as you have presented yourself to them. You feel me? They're not wrong for that. But that's what discourages a lot of people. They want their family. They want their friends to be all on the bandwagon because they're used to that reassurance. They can't reassure you some shit they don't know shit about. You feel me? And at the same time, you shouldn't seek that, because it's like they don't know shit about it. Like when I was talking about day trading and shit to people, like a lot of my family members were calling it gambling. They say that's just gambling. You might as well go get you some scratch-offs. I have no reason to talk to you guys anymore about this shit. Yo, why don't you talk to me about this? You think it's like scratching off a ticket and motherfucking cashing that shit in. It's not. It's not. That $50 a week that motherfuckers spend on scratch-offs, they can bang in the market easily. But do they know how? No. So when you're trying to seek reassurance from somebody who doesn't know anything about, that's not advice. That's reassurance. And you're gonna feel like they're hating on you when they tell you that you can't do it. Because two things have to play into that. Like I said, you have to have the one dynamic of them knowing who you are or knowing what they know about you. When I started my entrepreneurship journey, I had disconnected from my family. Not on no fucked up shit. We wasn't talking anything. I literally left the state. I went to Philly by myself. I was alone. They didn't know what the fuck I was doing. For as far as them, I was there to get a master's degree. They think I'm still in the vein of forensic biology. They don't know shit about shit. So it's like, yo, I'm trading. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm like, wait, when? I don't know. Like, all I know is that you a scientist. I didn't know that you can read charts. I didn't know that you could do these things. You sure you can do it? Hey, bro, I'm telling you, I'm sure I can do it. So I couldn't get advice from them about whether or not I should do that shit. Only thing that they can give me is reassurance. And if they don't know what I'm built for, they're not gonna give it to me. You feel what I'm saying? And then at the same time, you can only meet somebody where they met themselves. When people give you reassurance, they are low-key telling you what they would do in your situation. Why are you asking people for that? If you are trying to become an entrepreneur, if you are trying to put yourself in the entrepreneur space, why are you talking to people who aren't doing what you're doing? And this is also why I say now, it's lonely at the top because you're scared to befriend your equals, because now you realize what you don't know when you get around people that are doing what you're doing. You feel me? When you can get yourself in a position where you're no longer scared of what you don't know, you're no longer afraid to admit that you don't know something, when you're no longer afraid to admit that you are a student and you should be a student, you should be learning, you should be able to move forward. You feel me? That's how you're able to seek advice. Until that point, you're only going to look for reassurance. And you're going to become the big fish in the small pond. You're going to stay in that motherfucker because you ain't going to grow. You feel me? You ain't going to grow. You're not going to better yourself. You're not going to improve yourself. You're not talking to the right people. I know homies who I'll reassure them and then I'll give them advice. You feel me? They'll be like, yo, I think one of my homegirls right now, she is thriving so fucking well, right? I gave her reassurance and I gave her advice and she capitalized on that shit. And she was just in a competition for, it's called a favorite chef competition. She made it the top 3. She made it the top 3 and shit. Like, she was doing her thing. Like, and I'm proud of her because she put in that work. But like when we first met, she said, yo, I want to be a chef. I can cook. I can do this. I said, well, do it. You can do all of these things. I don't know. I reassured her first. And then I gave her the advice like, yo, you do this shit. Now go find it at people. Like, my advice for entrepreneurs and shit is basic. Now I'm my next advice, go fuck with people that are doing the shit that you're doing. Make friends with them motherfuckers. Because not only will they give you reassurance, they'll give you continual advice. You feel me? When it comes to stocks and trading, I don't talk to motherfuckers who ain't doing stocks and trading. I don't give a fuck. Like, y'all can't give me advice about shit. You feel me? When it came to writing books, I'm not talking to motherfuckers who have never written a book or published a book a day in their life. No, it just ain't gonna work. You feel me? You need that advice. You need that advisement. And you have to be in a position where you can accept that you don't know. Somebody knows more than you in your vein. And that's okay. You'll get to the point where you become the motherfucker that they go to. But for now, still have motherfuckers to go to. We don't want that because, like I said, it shines light to our mediocrity. And it's only mediocrity when you're only trying to seek reassurance. If you're trying to seek advice, you're not mediocre. You're learning. You're a student. You're supposed to learn. But when you only want reassurance, you're arrogant. You're just trying to feed your ego. In the entrepreneur world, trying to feed your ego will leave you broke. It will leave you broke as fuck. You be mad. You feel me? Because you just want reassurance. You feel me? You just want reassurance. You don't want the advice. Like, I remember when So Frail came out, it was like, I wrote So Frail on some shit. So Frail was like almost an accidental shit. You know what I mean? It was supposed to come out divinely. I can't even knock that. But it was like, my captions on social media were long. Motherfuckers, yo, I'm ready for your book to drop. I'm ready for your book to drop. When you gonna give us a book? Motherfuckers still asking me that now about the captions and shit. I stopped worrying about that shit. I don't feed into that shit. It got me in the game to write a book, but that's it. Because a lot of the motherfuckers that was like, yo, I'm ready for the book to come out, they didn't buy the book. It's like, damn. And then I reached the point where I had sold to all of the followers that I had on social media that were willing to buy the book. And I was like, yo, my books ain't selling no more. What do I do? What do I do? You feel me? For the reassurance side, motherfuckers, write another book. No, I'm trying to sell this one. What do you mean write another book? Nah, it's about getting that money. No, it's not about getting that money. It's about getting my book into the hands of motherfuckers that want to read it. Then I had to learn marketing. I had to start talking to people who wrote books. Not only wrote books, were selling books successfully. You feel me? They told me what to do. They said, hey, look, start reaching out to people who read the book. Tell them to write you a review. Put it on the major sites. Do these things and use that as leverage for your advertising. You feel what I'm saying? For your marketing. He said, start going into, different pockets of figuring out what you want to do with your book and, how to the different things. Start creating stuff about it. This is how So-For-Real Conversations came about. You feel me? You got to be willing to give somebody something for free to give them into it. So So-For-Real Conversations is revolved around my books. In some way, shape, or form. If the theme is masculinity, now I got to go down the other route. It's like, it's little things, the advice. Reassuring motherfuckers couldn't tell me that. Just sell more books. I'm stuck, man. Well, maybe it ain't for you then. Maybe it's just, because you gotta do something else. No, I don't gotta do something else. I have to do this right. That's the thing. I don't need to do something else. I need to do this right. And that is where that battle comes in between reassurance and advice. A lot of the entrepreneurs fail simply because of that. You feel me? Reassurance is so fucked up because you got to think about it. You're talking to, when you're trying to get reassurance, you're talking to people who are speaking as themselves when they're giving you they're speaking of what they would do in your situation, right? They don't know anything about what you're doing. You feel what I'm saying? And they're programmed already. We're all programmed to, if we don't get it right the first time, it's wrong. I was talking to one of my students one time. We were doing the spiritual advisement session and shit. We was uncovering the chakras and shit like that. And I said, you can't gauge your entrepreneurship the same way. You can't grade your entrepreneurship the same way you would grade yourself in school. In school, if we didn't get an A on the test, we felt stupid. We felt like we couldn't, like we had to get the information right then. If you actually gave entrepreneurs a GPA, nigga, we all be failing. Those 1A's won't do shit for the F's that we got. You feel what I'm saying? I ain't even gonna hold you. If you put a GPA to my entrepreneurship, right? Forget how it looks now. Forget what it is now for you seeing the A's and the final results. Bitch, I had like a 1.5 GPA. A 1.5 GPA. See, an advisor is supposed to get you through that point. Like, yo, you got an F, Not, oh, I think you need to change your major. You feel me? Let's tie it into how school works. If you start getting F's in a certain course or a certain thing, they're like, yo, this may not be your major. Change your major. And motherfuckers would do that shit because we don't have the power to persevere. We don't have the power to figure out why something isn't working for us because we're so used to getting it right the first time. We're so used to it being easy. If it's not easy, then no. Life is not easy. Life is work. You feel what I'm saying? There's no self-love in you if you are not willing to better yourself, if you're not willing to overcome your trials and tribulations. That's self-lust. Self-lust is when you stick in a vein or a pocket where you get everything right the first time. Self-love is, with love comes correction. I fucked up. Yo, let me get this right. Let me figure this out. Let me break this down. Let me put these things in perspective and let me do what the fuck I gotta do. That's self-love. That's loving the shit. Entrepreneurs love themselves. They have to, because it's like, you got to correct your fucked up behavior. You don't need to be reassured about what the fuck you're doing. You dig what I'm saying? You need to get the advice on how to do it better, how to do it right, how to do it consistently. You feel what I'm saying? I stopped listening to motivational speakers a long time ago. The shit was cool when I was in my MLM, when I was first starting. Yeah, wake up, listen to get your audios in, listen to your motivational audios. For fucking what? All that's going to keep doing is reassuring me that I can do this shit. I don't need to know that I can do this. I need to do it. I need to prove to myself that I can do this shit. So I need advice. How do I get advice? And when I get advice, what's it going to tell me? It needs to tell me how to do the shit. Oh, this is what I got to be doing. I don't need to just believe I can be an entrepreneur. I don't need to just feel, oh, I could do entrepreneurship. No, motherfucker, you have to do the shit. And you got to figure out what doesn't work, what does work. You feel me? One of the biggest hindrances is like, in that we go to seek reassurance from people, right? And they'll tell us, no, I don't think you can do. So we focus on trying to prove them motherfuckers wrong. Oh, I could do this. So you learn everything. You learn all the theory about the shit. You still have no motherfucking application. All this motherfucking knowledge. That's one of the biggest things about the fucking conscious community that used to it still do piss me off. But it's like, Had to disconnect from that shit because it's like, you feel me? Drop that knowledge, drop that knowledge. No, apply that fucking knowledge and gain wisdom. You feel me? Gain wisdom, get experience, be creative with your experience so you can understand how to do some shit. You dig me? Like that's what it's supposed to be about. But they keep saying, yo, drop knowledge, and not many motherfuckers is applying this shit. I think I entered the conscious community in 2014. I've dusted off on some of the people that I started with. You know, we're gonna do the entrepreneurship, we trying to nation build, we trying to do all of this shit. Motherfuckers still in their same spots. I'm not a reassurer. I have to get advice. I gotta go to where I gotta get it from. You feel me? You gotta go to it's gonna be uncomfortable. Advice is uncomfortable. It's supposed to be. You feel me? I'm not gonna be one like, you know, I still reassure people from time to time. I give them some advice. I'm like, you know, but ultimately it's up to you. I'm not gonna tell you what I would do in your situation. I'm gonna tell you what you need to be doing in your situation. You need to be doing in your situation. Cut out the distractions. You got to stop this. You got to cut this out. The fuck? I'm not going to be, oh, it can get better. You just got to process. You feel me? Motherfuckers use that. Oh, it's balance. It's about balance when you start fucking up. Oh, well, you know, you got it. No. You control the balance. You control the scales. You feel me? You control that shit. But if you constantly seek a reassurance, you're going to have a lopsided balance beam. Like, the fuck? Your shit ain't going to be balanced. It's going to be imbalanced. And you're going to justify your bullshit. You know? That fucking phrase, it fucking sickens me. I hate this fucking quote. What's for me is for me and I won't have to work for it. You's a goddamn lie. You goddamn lie, JB. Shout out to Mike Epps. That was a funny ass show. It's like, he's a goddamn lie, JB. But you're lying to yourself. You're fucking lying to yourself. And you're justifying your mediocrity. Because what's for me, I won't have to work for. No, you don't want to work for what's for you. Therefore, you're trying to justify that it's not for you because you don't want to put in the work. Lazy motherfucker. This is why I tell people capitalism works because motherfuckers is ignorant and lazy. I get it. Capitalism is a bad thing. So they say it's controlling the world. It's keeping the disparities between the poor and the rich and blah, 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 blah. Yes, that is true. They do keep the wealth away from people. However, it's a choice. You choose to be lazy. But we're not going to call it lazy. Oh, this is convenient. You get used to convenient shit and it makes you lazy. You feel me? Ignorance. Ignorance is not a bad thing. Ignorance is you need ignorance to fuel you. Ignorance is, but nobody wants to overcome their ignorance. They want to use the vehicle that somebody has already used to overcome their ignorance. You feel me? But guess what you got to do for that? You got to pay for that shit. You feel me? You got to pay for that shit. You feel me? I'm going to tie this back in the Master of the Market course because people keep giving me flack for this shit. Oh, that shit's too expensive. You need to drop it down because people, I don't give a fuck. I'm not dropping shit down. You can kiss my ass. I'm not dropping shit down unless I choose to, but I'm not dropping shit down because you can't afford it. The fuck? I have overcome the ignorance that you have already with this particular thing. I've overcome this ignorance. You feel me? I got spiritual advisement sessions where I teach people how to uncover their chakras and, you know, reach different levels of consciousness the right way, where people always say, you got to do the work. I show motherfuckers how to do the work and I charge you for it. Yo, that's kind of expensive. It's like, is it, nigga, hey, I did what you didn't do. And it took me years. It took me my entire life to master it. You damn right you're going to pay me for this shit. I'm not just going to, give you some hope and some reassurance. I'm going to give you advice on how to do this shit. Blow your motherfucking mind how this shit really works and how to see the world better. I do this shit. So you damn right. You're going to pay me for this shit. So now people are like, well, that's how capitalism works because motherfuckers is lazy and ignorant. That's it. People don't want to know. They don't want to learn. They don't mind remembering shit, but they don't want to learn. They don't want to think. They don't want to use their fucking mind. People are used to shit being convenient. So convenient that they don't want to put in the motherfucking work. Get so wrapped up in convenient things that now you're shutting your whole body down, spiritually, mentally, and physically. You're damaging your motherfucking self. You feel me? Don't nobody cook no more because they microwave. You feel me? Everybody goes out because it's convenient. And now look, because it's convenient, they can capitalize on how the fuck to shut your body down. Hey, well, it's a choice. It's a choice to be ignorant. It's a choice to be lazy. You dig what I'm saying? Reassurance makes sure you stay both of those things. Reassurance makes sure you stay both of those things. Advice takes you out of those two things. When motherfuckers are advising you, they are helping you to eliminate your ignorance and your laziness. But it's still up to you to eliminate the shit. You feel me? Everybody want to be an entrepreneur and shit, but don't nobody want to go through the fire. Nah, I think I'm going to take the easy route out. I'm going to do an MLM because if I do an MLM, they already did the work for me. But they're not telling you what the fuck the work is. They're giving you a cookie cutter setup and you just follow the shit blindly, still ignorant to the shit because you don't know why it works. You don't know how it works. So how the fuck you going to convince a motherfucker? How you going to market to a motherfucker when you don't know how something works because you ignorant to the shit? Capitalism is bad because the people that complain about it don't know how to capitalize. And they don't know how to capitalize simply because they're ignorant and lazy. I know this sounds hard, and if if you feel like I'm pulling, your coattails, for the sisters snatching your motherfucking edges. Y'all know how I get down. I'm not about to sugarcoat and play with this shit because this is what the problem is. Too many motherfuckers you're babying fucking adults. Can't baby y'all motherfuckers, man. I'm not about to reassure you to make you feel good. That's what I would do to a child. And I don't even do that to children. I give them advice too on their level, but I give them advice too. I don't reassure a kid. You feel me? Well, my nephews would be doing bad in school. It's like, yo, what's the plan of action to start doing better, bro? I'm not just gonna reassure you, you smart, you can do. No. What's your plan of action? How you gonna change your behavior? How you gonna change your circumstance? I'm gonna give you advice, my guy. I don't give a fuck how well you think oh, you talk to me wrong. I know women right now who tell me, oh, I wanna be an entrepreneur too. I wanna rock with you because you all right, cool. And then they tell me I'm too hard on them. You're putting too much pressure on me. I'm not putting too much pressure on you. You're just ignorant and lazy. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. Like those two words have garnered negative connotations, but I don't mean it in a negative perspective. Ignorance is simply without the knowledge. You don't want to obtain the knowledge. I refuse to be ignorant. I refuse to be lazy about anything. I do this shit. And I become comfortable not being ignorant and not being lazy. So when I am in those spaces, I'm very uncomfortable. A lot of motherfuckers, a lot of entrepreneurs are not uncomfortable being ignorant and lazy. You're not like advice is going to be what starts to put you in that uncomfortability space. But that reassurance, no, it's going to make you very, very complacent. It's going to make you very, very comfortable being ignorant and lazy. Don't nobody want to hear that shit. But you're going to hear that motherfucker today. You're going to hear that motherfucker right now. That's why you struggle. That's why as an entrepreneur, you can't get to that next level because you're comfortable being ignorant and lazy. And you justify it by being what? The big fish in a small pond. Because I'm not ignorant. I'm not lazy if the people that are beneath me are more ignorant and more lazy than me. All y'all motherfuckers is ignorant and lazy. That's why y'all in a fucking pond. Y'all can't bang in a motherfucking ocean. Because we in salt water now. Go ahead and enjoy your little fresh water. Go ahead and enjoy the shit that doesn't give you any turbulence. You feel me? Be the big motherfucking fish in the small pond. And continue to tap into being lazy and being ignorant and get capitalized on. More market to your ass. And now you got to pay me. You feel me? You got to pay me. One thing that I learned in this process is like, I'm always going to cut the middleman out. I always said that shit. I don't just remove the motherfucker. I cut the middleman out because I know what the fuck the middleman do. Now I can control which middleman I put in my space. All the shit that I learned how to do, man, I do the shit because it's like, I have to. Like I said, I've gotten so uncomfortable being ignorant and lazy. It's not even funny anymore. You feel me? Now, I need to learn how to tap back into being ignorant and lazy. I don't have to know it. I don't have to know it all. You feel me? I don't have to always be doing something. That is a part of what I got to work on. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody, I got a string of text messages. I got a string of homies within the last week say, yo, bro, be still. My homegirls, yo, bro, it's time to relax, chill, be still, go have fun, go travel, go play. You deserve it. You feel me? Go play. Like when your homies are relieved that you ain't doing shit, you're doing too much. But I digress. I want to stick to the topic of what we're talking about with reassurance and advice, because like I said, it ties into the ignorance and laziness. Motherfuckers reassure you, and when they reassure you, it compounds on to your ignorance and your laziness. Oh, I'm good. I don't need to learn no more. No, advice is gonna show you, yo, bitch, you don't know this shit. Hey, motherfucker, you don't know this shit. You need to tighten up. You need to tighten up. You need to fix this shit. Nah, I don't want to do this right now. I gotta build it slow. Some things you gotta build slow. Some things you gotta build fast. But you gotta build, motherfucker. But you gotta know too. You feel me? That's why capitalism is so profitable. Now the problem is when we look at the exploitation and shit, motherfuckers start getting ignorant. You feel me? Not ignorant. Some motherfuckers start getting damn, I just drew a blank on the word I was gonna use. They lose integrity. That's what it is. Motherfuckers don't have integrity. That's when you get the negative side of capitalism, which is pretty much the forefront. Tying that back into the, quick side tangent off of so far. That's why I say the world isn't run off of toxic masculinity. It's toxic femininity. You feel me? Femininity is about synthesis and construction. When it's toxic, it's made to destroy. You feel me? It's a toxic feminine mentality that causes capitalism to be used without integrity. We could easily end world hunger, but the motherfuckers with all the money ain't gonna end the hunger. Why? Because they understand when you get to that side and you start making copious amounts of money, you start seeing that shit. It's like, man, these niggas is ignorant and lazy, bro. Why the fuck would I give them my money? You feel me? Why the fuck would I invest? Like, when you start realizing the value of your money, you stop putting it in shit that you know ain't gonna grow. I'm not putting my money into no ignorant and lazy motherfuckers. Now, this is not me talking about my people. This is not me talking about, the hood or no shit like that. I'm talking about the collective on a grander scale. This is why it works. You feel me? Ignorance and laziness. Capitalism works off of that. This is why I like creating the illusion that, think about this. Think about clothing. Let me show you how designer clothing works. Let me show you how designer clothing taps into capitalism and how it capitalizes off of ignorance and laziness, right? You would rather wear some clothes to look like you got money than actually have the shit. The money that you spend on clothes, spending $1,200 on a fucking belt doesn't mean you have $1,200. It means you spent $1,200 and you did that shit with what you had to save up to. You had to save up to stunt. That is simultaneously ignorant and lazy. Because you have not put in the work to actually afford the very thing you're trying to stunt with. Because now when you get to that point, you say, that's a waste of my motherfucking money. You don't even know that it's a waste of your money. You feel me? It takes you 3 checks to buy a Louis belt. Three checks to buy a Louis belt, right? I'm not knocking it. I'm not saying like, if that's what you want to do, that's what buys your groceries, cool. But let's put that shit and really break that shit down in real time. Let's say just off of basics, you work 40 hours a week, right? You get paid every 2 weeks, right? 3 checks will be 6 weeks, 40 hours. That's 240 hours. You gave 240 hours of your life for a belt. A belt. A fucking belt. 240 hours of your life for a belt. You know how many hours are in a week? 168. Ain't it? Let me see. 24 times. Yeah, I'm right. 168 hours. 168 hours in a week. Total. And you worked 240 to get a belt. 240 hours of your life to get a belt. To give the appearance, yo, I got money. I got money. No, you don't. You got poor spending habits. Ignorance. You feel what I'm saying? It's like, well, that can't be lazy if I'm working 40. It is lazy. That is lazy. Because you have not put enough work in to actually afford that belt without having to save for it. Think about it. If it's taking, let's say you took 3 weeks to get a Louis belt, right? 240 hours. You feel me? 240 hours of your life to get a belt. Feel me? Can you work 240 hours in a day? No, it's only 24. 10 days. 10 days of your life. 10 full days of your life for a fucking belt that you couldn't do in one day. You feel me? Do you feel what I mean? Like, that's how capitalism works. So now I'm walking around looking like I got a Louis belt. You feel me? Man, one of my homies, like, we're doing a spiritual advisement session. He was just telling me about how young boy got killed. He's dead. He's fucking dead. His Yeezys were added to the evidence locker because they were seen as evidence. His mom, because she bought the Yeezys, was more pressed about getting the Yeezys back out of the investigation locker than her actual child being dead. Because she paid for them. Capitalism works because motherfuckers is ignorant and lazy. You feel me? And motherfuckers remain ignorant and lazy because they don't get advice. They only get reassurance. That shit's weird. That shit's weird to me. And so when you hustling and you getting this paper and shit, it's like, now what are you doing with it? Like, one thing that I learned over the years is I only spend the profits off my profits. That's it. That's it. Everything else, I keep it liquid. I keep it moving, keep it making money for me and shit. When my profits make profits, so my system is this: if I sell something or whatever the case may be, I put it straight in the stock market or the Forex market. Then I flip that. Then when my profits make profits, then I spend that. That's what I play with. I play with the profits of my profits. You feel me? I play with the profits of my profits. But how do I do that? It takes work. It takes knowledge. I had to be in a position to learn all of this shit. This is not a moment of bragging. This is a moment of understanding and a little bit of quote unquote tough love that we all say we like to have. Give me some motherfucking tough love and I'm going to give you the game. I'm going to give you the game. And this is why a lot of motherfuckers are suffering as far as their entrepreneurship. Because they're not getting the game. Not from a motherfuckers doing it. They're getting reassurance from motherfuckers that's not in the game. Because it's like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. You feel me? You're doing this. I can admire you. You like being a big fish in a small motherfucking pond. You think you're being loved, but if that shit ain't making you better, it's not no correction. No. They're admiring you, desiring you, and they're infatuated with you, and they lust over you. I always talk about that being what we experience as love as nowadays, those 4 points. And they're feelings, they're not powers. You feel me? We wrapped up in this motherfucking illusion, and we wrapped up in this world where when it comes to our entrepreneurship and building that shit, it's like, yo, we can't get to that. Why can't I get to the next level, man? I want to scale. I want to do all these things. Learn how to do the shit. Learn how to do the shit. But nah, we don't want to. We want to take the easy route out. We want to take the easy route out. We don't want to put in the work to learn how to do the right shit, to do what we're supposed to do. We just want to constantly be reassured. You feel me? Your advisors, your mentors, the motherfuckers, they're not reassuring you for shit. They gonna tell you when you off your shit. Why? So you talk bad to me. Like, you feel me? I'm big on entrepreneurship. So in my relationships, you know, if my lady doesn't have to be an entrepreneur, I don't really, you know, because everybody ain't built for everybody. However, don't come into my space talking about, I want to do entrepreneurship, then get mad when I put the pressure on your ass. You're too hard on me. Well, stop telling me what the fuck you want to do. You feel me? Oh, that's that Aries energy. This is not Aries energy. This is just the energy of reality. You got to put in motherfucking work if you want to achieve shit. The fuck? You're too hard on me. You're too hard on people. You hold just like, fuck no, like fuck that. If no, you're right. I am hard on people. I'm gonna change that. Fuck that. I'll admit that shit. I am hard on people. Motherfuckers are just soft. That's all. You want something, but you don't like. That's why I call them entrepreneurs. You want something, but you don't want to overcome the ignorance and the laziness to get there. That's why it's hard. As soon as motherfuckers come to me, I think I want to do this. Do it. What's your next step? Damn, I just put the idea out and said, all right, you got the idea. Okay, cool. I'm not about to assuage your fucking consciousness and make you feel good. And I can't even get out what the fuck I was about to say. That shit just got me triggered. But I can't do that shit. And nobody should do that shit for you. I should not be reminding you to do your shit. That's reassurance. Advice is, look, here's what you already have to do. Now do it. Yo, I appreciate that. Yo, you really got me right. You really did this and then the third. It's like, nah, I can't fuck with people who I can't fuck with people who need to have their hand held. That's what a lot of motherfuckers want. Hold my hand while they walk through this process because they don't know how to do it. Learn how to do this shit. Don't nobody hold my motherfucking hand. Because I don't go towards people who are going to hold my hand. That's reassurance. Look, bro, I don't need my hand held. I just need to know how to do this shit. All right, this is what you got to do. You got to study this. You got to read this. Go look up this book. Like my homeboy Will, like I said, he set me up right. That was a solid catalyst. He transformed a lot of shit within me. He told me which books to read. He told me like, yo, read this book. Get your mindset right. Do this. He said, but it's all about action. He showed me books to read that gave me action, not fucking theory to go talk to another motherfucker. Hey, yo, I'm an entrepreneur. Let me teach you how to be an entrepreneur. I don't give a fuck about teaching you how to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to teach you how to do you. I'm going to give you advice on how to do you. It's up to you to do the shit or not. This is the only reason why MLMs work. This is the only reason why them network marketing shits, they work so well, because motherfuckers is lazy. They don't want to do the work for the motherfucker who built the empire. Well, they don't want to do the work as the motherfucker who built the empire. So the motherfucker who built the empire gave them a template and said, follow it. And they followed it. You feel me? You got to stop going towards motherfuckers just to be reassured. If you want to be a successful entrepreneur, you cannot be reassured in this shit that you need fucking advice. You need to go to motherfuckers who's going to help you get a plan in order. You feel me? I know motherfuckers who have been reassured by entrepreneurs and saying, yo, you got to quit your job to give you that drive. No, take it from me. Take it from me. Listen well. Do not quit your job until you have solidified that your side bags can pay and cover the exact same amount that your main bag is consistently. Oh man, you know, if you quit your job, it'll give you a better hunger. Fuck hunger. You don't want to fucking hunger. You're already hungry. That's why you want the motherfucking. That's why you have the idea to be an entrepreneur. Now you need advice on how to maneuver the best way you can. Feel me? Yeah, you're not gonna be able to have these weekends off. You ain't gonna be able to do shit for Saturday. You feel me? I've had so many people, especially women, trying to talk to them through the entrepreneur. You don't never want to do nothing. Come see me. Come do this. No, I'll try. But if the universe blocked me, I'm not coming. I was blocked from the shit because I had not finished my task. I had to keep putting in the work. I wasn't living for fucking Saturday. So I had to take the advice. It's like that. It's like, yo, bro, you working full time. Take the advice. Take this Saturday. Do X, Y, and Z. Get to the point like I had to start overlapping shit. You feel me? I was writing books at work. I was putting in the motherfucking work, doing what I needed to do. Now I could do shit when I want to, and it pisses me off because it don't really piss me off. But it's at the point now where it's like, yo, they were like, yo, what you doing? I don't know, man. All my friends at work. It's like I feel like I'm skipping school and shit, and like all my homies and shit, the people that I joke with on a regular basis, they still in class. They didn't skip school with me. Oh, yes, I wait till 3:00 till they get home. Now they in traffic still, and they driving. Now they tired, and you don't want to do shit. You got errands to run on Saturday? Fuck. What is this about? You feel me? But that's the process of all of this shit. You can't just have reassurance. You feel me? You need advice. And you need to be able to take that advice wisely from motherfuckers who do the shit. You feel me? You need to live a little. Okay, cool. I'm going to live a lot. I put in 5 years of time. Solid time. That motherfuckers wasn't willing to put in. Because the people that I talked to, they gave me advice. They said, bro, yo, fuck them people, yo. They was like, look, get your shit together. Stay on point. Do this. Continue moving the process. Continue doing this. Like, you feel me? Same people 5 years later, they still in their same spot and all that. They got fun. They got the memories. You feel me? They got the memories that I didn't have. the trips and shit, but now I can do the shit when I want to, if I feel like it. You feel me? Why? Because I received advice from motherfuckers. You feel me? I wasn't just getting reassurance. And don't forget to take a moment to go get your exclusive merchandise from Just Scenes merch. At Just Scenes, each piece is specifically crafted with positive imagery and symbolism. From the titles and designs to the descriptions, each style gives you something to feel great about. With everything from hoodies and tees to coffee mugs and tote bags, we have something for the entire family. So be sure to get yours today. Find us on Instagram at Just Scenes merch and get your merchandise right now. All right, I think I'm gonna end there. Like, forget that little last part. I get passionate about this shit because it's like I keep running into people who they want reassurance from. Like, don't seek me as your guy. Don't seek me as somebody who's going to, make me feel good. Tell me that I can do this. No, you got the thought in your mind. Tell yourself that you can do this shit. You feel me? I ain't about, like, this is why I do the EntrepreNEGUS series. This is why I've been doing the EntrepreNEGUS series, because I ain't holding no motherfucking body hand. You want me to hold your hand, you got to listen to these podcast episodes. I'm not, like, fuck that. I'm not about to sit there and waste my time and energy giving you advice that you won't take. Everybody keeps saying, yo, get the yes people out of your circle and shit and all of that shit. But don't nobody want to take the yes people out of their circle because it caters to them being stuck in a position. You feel me? It don't take that long to be successful, yo. It don't take that long to succeed at something. You just got to be willing to put in the work and cater to the right people. Like I said, I talk to people who are, constantly sought insurance for people, reassurance from people. And so it's like, yo, bro, you got all of this knowledge, but you ain't done shit with it yet. Why not? Because, man, I feel like I'm not ready yet. I don't know. Nah, nigga, nah, bruh. If you were getting advice, you would have learned exactly what you were supposed to know to go to the next level. Not just enough to keep you learning some more. You don't need to. You feel me? In my beginning phases, I wasted so much time trying to know everything. You feel me? That now I just know what I need to know. When I get stuck, when I have a hangman moment and I just get stuck, fuck that. Why am I stuck? Bam, let me uncover the shit, learn that. All that other shit became irrelevant. I don't learn so much shit that I don't even need to use no more. Actually, I got the resources, but fuck it. It wasn't even a part of what I was supposed to be doing because I was seeking reassurance from people. Going to motherfuckers, how you think I should go about doing this right here? And they're not even doing what the fuck I'm asking them about. Well, I think you should, what I would do in your situation is I would look for the, but you're not in my situation and you don't even know what the fuck my situation entails. You feel me? It was in learning how to trade and invest that it really came to light. You feel me? I studied motherfuckers like, yo, you can't learn trading from people who aren't trading. Whew. And I mean trading, like really trading. A lot of motherfuckers get suckered into them MLMs because they're using demo accounts. They're using demo accounts. They're using these. They're not bringing in real results. They're not putting their own money on the line. It's a demo account. This shit don't count. You get a $50,000 with a demo account. You get $50,000 to blow. It's fake money. It's $50,000 of monopoly money. That's what it is. You see a motherfucker, yeah, I just got one off 10 pips and shit. They have a whole string of things. It's like they post a little screenshot and they had like 8 or 9 motherfucking stocks and not stocks, currency pairs. And then you have some in the blue, some in the red and shit like that. I trade one pair at a time. Like, yo, what are you trading? Like, no, I'm not. That's gambling. You feel me? They'll pick one currency and they'll add positions to everything because logically it's going to make sense. If this is a currency that is strong, some things are going to go positive, some things are going to go negative. No, nigga, that's stupid as hell. But when you got a $50,000 account that ain't your motherfucking money, you don't give a fuck about if you lose anything. You feel me? You don't give a fuck about that. But when you start using your own real money, you pay close attention. Trust me. And you really learn the game. So then when you're talking to a motherfucker who's only giving reassurance, yeah, man, you have the potential to make all of it. Look how much money I just made in this demo account. They don't add the demo account to the shit. You feel me? I don't show how much I make in my sleep. You got to pay to see my money. You got to pay to see my money. I don't go fuck who you are. Because again, my point is not to convince you that you can do this shit. Because you can't. I can't convince you what the fuck you can do. I can give you advice as to what you're already doing. You feel me? People keep coming, yo, I want to learn about stocks. I want to learn about trading. Look, man, I can teach you all of that shit, but I don't give a fuck about that. I teach the principle. Just read the market. That's it. Read the fucking charts. If you learn to read the charts, you're good. You're good. It don't matter what chart you're in. If you decide I want to do ETFs, okay, cool. I want to do ETFs. I want to do options. Okay, cool. I'm going to do options. If I want to do Forex, stocks, whatever the case may be, the market system is the goddamn same. Same shit. Don't matter. You feel me? There's no difference in any of this shit. Forex is the most powerful one because Forex you can buy and sell and get profit. So you know that there's a battle between opposing sides. You feel me? But a lot of people just want to be reassured that they can do something. That ain't my, you can't do it. I don't think this is for me. You're right. It ain't. The moment you tell me something, I'm going to go ahead and co-sign with you. Because I assume you better than me. I can't reassure people of shit. Yo, I want to do X, Y, and Z, but I think it's a bad idea. Yep, definitely a bad idea. Damn, you don't even believe in me. Nigga, you don't even believe in you. Why the fuck would I waste my time trying to convince you to believe in yourself? Because think about that shit. Advice is not me trying to get you to a point of belief and then get you somewhere. No, if you already have the doubts in something, fuck it. Don't even come into my space. I'm going to hurt your feelings. I ain't going to lie. I'm going to hurt your feelings. The moment you say, I want to do this, but I don't think I'm built for it. You ain't. Damn, you don't believe in me? You don't believe in you. Why the fuck would I waste my time trying to believe in you? The fuck? Because now look at what we got to do. I got to convince you. I got to first convince you that you're good enough to do something. You have to convince me. I have to convince you to convince me that you're good enough to do something. And then in turn, convince you to do it. No, that's too much energy. That's too much work. If you come to me on some shit like, I don't think I can do it. You right. You can't. Leave me alone. Fuck out my face. Fuck out my face. You feel me? This is why I charge for sessions to, because you're going to waste your money before you waste my time. Like, I don't have the capacity anymore to just sit with motherfuckers and talk to them and try to reassure them that they can do some shit. I don't give a fuck about reassurance no more. So much so I don't seek reassurance and I don't reassure motherfuckers. Either you come to me and you get advice or you get the fuck on. I know it sounds so rough and so rugged and tragic, but I don't give a damn. Like, that's really what it is. That's what this entrepreneur life is about. You need to come into this space and look for advice. Stop looking for reassurance. The reassurance needs to come from you. You got the idea, right? You got the thought, right? You have the plan that you want to do right now. Put that bitch to action. Go seek motherfuckers who are doing the action and figure out how the fuck to do the action better. The fuck are you wasting your goddamn time for? Come on, man. Just talk to me and let me know that I can do this. You let me know that you can do this. I don't know you. I don't know shit about your inner workings. I don't know how to make you be better at this shit. I don't know how to make you feel better about yourself. I don't know how to make you look at yourself in a different light. I can't do that shit. All I can do is tell you how to do what you say you want to do. That's all I'm supposed to do. That's what advice is. That's what guidance is. You feel me? We get so wrapped up in seeking reassurance that we feel like a motherfucker hating when they doubt us. Motherfuckers have told me that shit before. You just a hater. You don't believe. Nigga, you don't believe in you. That's not me hating. If that's me hating on you, then that's you hating on your motherfucking self. How about that? If you need me to make you believe that you should be believing in your motherfucking self, what does that say about you, motherfucker? You feel me? But again, like I said, we can apply this to all forms of life. It's not just entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship was just the easy example to break this down. I hope y'all caught the gems in this motherfucker. Reassurance is problematic because we seek it and that's why we get stuck. Reassurance promotes our ignorance and our laziness. You feel me? It just does. That's how capitalism works. But then when you understand consciousness, you understand how they program people's minds in order to be lazy and ignorant. And then you got to pay for that shit. The sad part, you got to pay to be lazy and ignorant. Ain't that some shit? You got to pay to know nothing and do nothing. Let that shit marinate. Whether you're really paying for the compensation, like kicking money out, or you're going to pay for it, metaphorically. But you're going to pay for being lazy, and you're going to pay for being ignorant, and you're going to be capitalized on for it. So we hate the cutthroat shit. We hate it, but we contribute to the cutthroat shit. We become the motherfuckers who allow ourselves to have our throats cut. Why? Because we want reassurance for some shit. We don't want advice. You feel me? Advice is action. I have to go and do something now. Oh, this is the plan you want me to use? Oh, yeah, I'm going to hit you up. Did you do it? I fell off today, man. It's like I had all right. It is what it is. Feel me? What'd you do today? Well, I got tied up with this. All right, cool. Like, advice is non-negotiable. See, what you thought was, you thought you was going to get reassurance. And then when I'm holding you accountable to the shit, now that's another aspect to the mentorship. That's another aspect to the advisement. That's another aspect to the guidance. You feel me? Now I got to hold you accountable to the shit. You feel me? If you can't hold yourself accountable, don't try to do the shit. If you know, oh, I got this in my life, this, like life happens to everybody. You're not exempt from the shit. Get through it. Oh, that's harsh. That's rough. People going, yes, everybody goes through everything on a regular basis. Entrepreneurs ain't absolved to the shit. We go through the same shit everybody else, but we're still pushing through. What's your excuse? It's different. Okay, cool. Now you needed reassurance. You didn't need advice. You needed reassurance because advice is going to make you be accountable. Reassurance ain't make you accountable for shit. It makes you comfortable. You're not accountable. You're comfortable. You feel me? You're comfortable. So what you going to do with that shit? What you going to do with that shit? When it's time to actually be an entrepreneur and step into the space, now go start seeking advice from motherfuckers. Stop seeking reassurance. Get some action-oriented shit taken out. You feel me? Feel me? If you need to be talked to a certain way, you feel me? If you need to be talked to a certain way, go talk to a motherfucker who's going to talk to you like that. You got to be careful who you seeking advice from. If you know you too emotional and you too fragile to actually get advice from a tough love type motherfucker, then don't go seek advice from them. I'm telling you, I'm not the motherfucker that's a night nine. Let me not say that. I don't want to scare people off like I'm an asshole and shit. Because motherfuckers, I know how to meet people where they are. You feel me? But this right here is, it's free shit. It's free shit. Get these gems while you can. You feel me? So I got to present it in the way that it has to be presented because there's too many of us right now in this entrepreneur space that are scared because nobody's reassuring us anymore. Nobody reassures anybody when we in a, like, this is why I said it's lonely at the top because you're scared to befriend your equals. When you start befriending your equals, ain't nobody friendly in this bitch. We're friends. We're not friendly, but we are friends. Friends truly love their friends. And with love comes correction. Friendly motherfuckers lust over their friends. So they admire them. They desire them. They're infatuated by them. You feel what I'm saying? That's that lusty shit, to be friendly. Now, I don't mean from the point of, just wanting to fuck somebody and shit like that. Let's break that mentality. But the full dynamic of lust is like, I'm not going to correct any of your behavior. I'm going to let you stay where you are. I'm going to be no. In this entrepreneurship area, we become friends with people. Real friends, to where it's like, yo, you off your shit, or you so off your shit, I can't have you in my space no more. Not a friendly motherfucker. Not a friendly motherfucker. They'll never tell you off your shit because they don't want you to stop being friends with them. They don't want you to stop fucking with them. So I'm gonna be friendly. No, hell no. Ain't no friendly shit over here. When you step into this space, you're gonna see that you have friends because why? We're in the fucking ocean. You feel me? We're in the fucking ocean. If I know that now that we're in the ocean, it's sharks in this bitch. If we move a certain way, the sharks will eat us. If you are moving in a way in which the sharks are going to eat us, I can't fuck with you. That's a real friend. That's some real friend shit. Because at the end of the day, it's like, if you're not being able to maneuver against these sharks so we're not getting eaten and you become a liability to me, fuck you. You got to go. Friendly motherfuckers is like, oh, you were baited and the shark almost got you. But nah, it's like, yo, your friend is like, yo, that shark almost got you. Either you change this behavior, I can't fuck with you no more. I had to save you from getting ate by a shark because you was in the wrong territories. I told you not to go over there. I told you not to fuck. But then you wanted to be with the sharks. They wanted to be over here. I told you not to wear that shit. I told you not to do this right here because we're not supposed to be in that space because now the sharks are going to come and eat us. That's your friend. That's your friends. People be thinking friends are supposed to be, oh, fucking Care Bears and shit. Fuck no. Your friends are supposed to be making you better. I'm going to send your ass back to the motherfucking pond if you jeopardize the ocean for me. I'm sorry that I'm not sorry, but that's just the way it has to be. I'm not reassuring you that you can swim in the ocean. I'm going to show you what it takes to navigate in this motherfucker. We got to worry about sharks. We got to worry about sea lions. We got to worry about all of this shit now. We got to maneuver accordingly. And when you're not maneuvering accordingly, you are a liability. You're no longer an asset to my team. You got to go. You got to fucking go. I'll give you the advice on how to be an asset to my team, but I'm not going to reassure you that you can be an asset to my team. And that is what a lot of people want. And that is why a lot of entrepreneurs fail. And I'm going to end it right there. With that, go kiss your babies. Make sure they eat their vegetables and start to break the mentality right now of constantly reassuring your kids about shit. You feel me? Start giving advice. You know what it takes to give advice? Experience. You have to do this shit. One thing that we do in our communities is that we keep a lot of secrets from the kids. We keep a lot of shit from the kids and we don't tell them the truth. All we say is, I've been your age. I know that. No, you may have been their age, but you have not been in their life. And I don't mean that in the sense that you're an absent parent. I mean, you have not lived the life that they're living. Times have changed from when you were a child. It's called evolution. It's called growth. It's called natural selection, whatever the fuck you want to call it. The problems and the trials and the tribulations that they have are different from the ones you had as a kid. So cut that shit out. Give them advice. Give them your experience. They're ready to learn it. I always say when your child asks you a question, they already have an answer. They're coming to you for reassurance, but you need to give them advice to that answer. They're going to get the advice. You feel me? I tell this story not to brag. And I tell the story not to be, that person. But that's why I started fucking at 11 years old. I went and asked for the advice about sex. What is sex? You're too young to know about it. All right, nigga. I already got an idea of the shit. I seen my first flick when I was 7. I'm telling you, I already got the idea. I want to know before I go do the shit. Because I need to experience it. You feel me? It's better to let your kids learn from your experiences than learn from their own. They don't know your experiences if you just going to reassure them that this is something that you're too young to know about, or this is going to be bad, this is going to be good. They need to know why. Children don't ask why for nothing. They need advice. They need guidance. You're supposed to provide that to them. If not, what's going to happen? Now you're going to be blaming TV. You're going to be blaming the music videos. These rappers and shit, they're programming our kids. They wouldn't program the kids if you had advice. If they got advice, they listen to who's giving them their advice. That's where it's coming from. You feel me? Be in their life and give them that advice, bro. For real. Give them, sis, all y'all, give them the game. I know you feel uncomfortable. That's my baby. That's my child. I don't want to lie. I'm telling you. How the fuck you figure out some of the shit you figured out? You always talk about, yeah, I've been where you've been before. Understand that your child is where you were. The child is currently where you used to be. If that's the case and you want to put into it, how'd you figure the shit out? If nobody was telling you the shit. Break the cycle. Bridge the gap. It's that simple. You feel me? And again, I'm not a parent, so y'all gonna say, well, until you got kids. But understand, when I got kids, I'll be real transparent with them. Just like I'm transparent with y'all. But I know how to speak to people according to who they are and what their level is. So, it might be a little different with me. But, stop being afraid. And because now it's going to develop to where kids seek reassurance from things. And that's why we getting fucked up in life. Peer pressure works because it's about reassurance. Man, we be all right. We be good. No, nigga, we won't. And then our experiences teach us that something else crazy happened. You feel me? Because we don't get advice, we get reassurance. But like I said, go kiss your babies. Make sure they eat their vegetables. And I'm going to see y'all all on the next one. Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom. I'm out.